This presentation will give a quick overview of the material, readings, and assignments this week in GP210 American Government 1. My name is Mark Olson, and I'm a political instructor here at Grantham University. I'm just visiting your class this week for this lecture. It's very likely that I'm not your instructor for this class. Now, if you have any questions about the material this week, please contact your instructor directly. You can find their contact information under the Instructor Information link in Blackboard. Your instructor is here to help you succeed in this course, so please do not hesitate to contact them with any questions you might have. Do we need government? What should that government look like? What should we as individuals be able to do and not do as we attempt to live together in a society? Is there any benefit in studying American government and politics? This week, we will be learning about why we have a government and why our government looks the way it does. We will also consider what can be gained by studying American government. At the successful completion of this week's lessons, you should be prepared to first define liberty. Now, liberty is one of those words that we all use a lot, but often take its meaning for granted. Many of us simply think that liberty means freedom. Many of us actually have different definitions and understandings of what liberty means. And as we will learn in our lectures, liberty and freedom are not the same thing at all. Second, you should be able to describe the creation of the Constitution. The idea of liberty had a profound meaning on the creation of our nation. How were the principles of liberty, as captured by our founders in the words of the Declaration of Independence, applied to practical, real-world application in our government through the words of the Constitution? Third, describe the three branches of government. Our founders were afraid of power being concentrated in the hands of too few people. Therefore, the power of governing in our nation was split between the legislative, executive, and judicial branches of government. We will learn how each of these branches function and what powers they each have. Finally, you should be able to examine federalism. Power in our political system is also split between the states and the national federal government. We will learn why our unique federal system of government developed and how it impacts our lives. This week there are 3 lectures to read. First, Lecture A, Why Study American Government? Oftentimes, students wonder, how does this class apply to their lives? In this lecture, we will find out why studying American government is important to your career goals and life as a citizen of our nation. Second, Lecture B, Do we need a government? Now, have you ever stopped to wonder, do we actually need a government? This is the question we will consider in this lecture. Finally, Lecture C, What should that government look like? What should a government look like? How did our founders answer this question in how they chose to form our government? This week, you will be participating in our class discussions and completing one written assignment. First, you're going to participate in the Week 1 discussion, Introduction and Why Study American Government. In our discussions this week, you will be introducing yourself to your peers in the class and discussing how American government connects to your academic and career goals. Second, you'll be completing the Week 1 assignment, Civic Information Scavenger Hunt, and Essay on the Meaning of Liberty. This week in your assignment, you will be completing a civic information scavenger hunt, testing your ability to find information on the American government that all citizens, and especially voters, should know. In your assignment, you will also write an essay on the meaning of liberty. As with all discussions and assignments, please be sure to read and follow the instructions very carefully. Please also take care to proofread your work, keep your text professional, and do not plagiarize. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact your instructor. Now, this week you will be reading the following: the Declaration of Independence, the Gettysburg Address, the Bill of Rights, which are Amendments 1 through 10 of the U.S. Constitution, and the Preamble to the U.S. Constitution. Now, these readings have one big thing in common. They state the principles on which our country was founded. In future weeks, we will read the Constitution, which is the practical, real-world application of these principles through institutions of our government. Throughout this course, we will be reading primary sources. Primary sources are original or historical texts. They are not the words of another, for example, what you would read in a textbook. Therefore, they are more reliable than the secondary sources. Have you ever played the game telephone? Someone starts a message and tries to relay it to you through several other people before it hits your ears. When you finally do hear the message, it is often very different from the original. Instead of getting our information via intermediaries, using primary sources is like getting the message straight from the origin in our telephone game. Remember, your instructor and student advisor are here to help you succeed. Please contact them with any questions you might have. Begin by reading this week's written lectures in your Week 1 course material. Our 8 weeks together will go fast, so get started right away.